Good evening, everyone. It's hockey time. It's February 1st. There are three games on the schedule tonight. We've got the Bruins taking on the Caps in Washington, the Avs taking on the Kings in LA, and Minnesota, the hot Minnesota, taking on Calgary in Saskatchewan, right? Calgary's in Saskatchewan, right? It's not in Manitoba. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Calgary is near Saskatoon, and it's up there to our neighbor to the north. So what do we have right now? According to Daily Faceoff, we have some probables. Not everyone is confirmed yet, but I've highlighted them in yellow. Budaj, Dubnyk, Holtby, Pickard, Elliott, Rask. I like Holtby tonight because Washington's at home. He hasn't played in a while. He's going to put up 6 or 7 points. They're probably going to get a win. I think that Boston and Washington game is going to be the high-scoring game of the night. Maybe some goals in Minnesota, Calgary also, and then watch out for LA. So I think you do want to grab one of these three goalies if you're going to pick one tonight. I guess Elliott can be the sleeper because Calgary's at home, but Minnesota's been playing so well. I don't want to fight them. And I think that Tuukka's going to give up some goals against Caps who've just been out of control, and Pickard's probably not going to have a big night for Colorado because why would he, right? So, yeah, keep an eye on these three. I like Holtby. He seems to be the strongest. Who's been scoring goals? Well, Caps have been scoring goals. Last 3 weeks, Caps, some big nights. They only got 2 up against a really hot Thomas Greiss and the Islanders last night. Minnesota, look at this. They are also the team to grab 5-5, 2-2, 5-4, 3. Calgary, I mean, what's Calgary's defense been looking like? Let's flip this a little bit and grab the opponent and put the opponent up. I think that when you flip this out and unfilter this, you can see that these are teams that have given up a lot of goals. Colorado's a team that's given up the most that's playing tonight. Boston as well. That's kind of why I like the Caps. Go further down the list. And Calgary's given up some goals. 2, 5, 4, 7. Yeah, you really do want to pick up some Minnesota guys. Washington's been pretty solid. Although Boston lately has been scoring a little bit more. I think they played Tampa Bay last night. It was a pretty high-scoring game. Anyway, so that's what we've got. So let's take a look at the lines and the players and the matchups, right? Let's start with Boston versus the Caps, okay? Let's go with the Caps first because I think there are going to be some guys on the Caps you're going to want to grab. So Ovechkin, always strong, right? He puts up so many shots that DraftKings point scoring structure lends itself well to Ovechkin. Oshie did come back last night after being hurt. He can always go off too. I like him. Backstrom is the one who really hasn't been providing as much as he usually does. And then you got Alzner. Carlson came back too from an injury. I'm going to stay away from him as well tonight. Kuznetsov's had the hot hand, right? Kuznetsov, Orlov. Let's grab the DraftKings salary number right here and bring that below player. Kind of take a look, see how cheap he is. He's on power play 2, 4,000. Not a bad defenseman to pick up. Niskanen can do it too, and Niskanen's, I believe, on power play 1. It's a little bit more expensive. Williams, he's let's open this up a little bit more. So for a few more games on here. You can see how Williams does have these bigger nights. So he's kind of one that I like to pick. Orleans Williams. Mojo hasn't had the mojo lately. Really only a couple games over 4 points in the last 11 games. Burakovsky, look at this. Look at this. That's saying pick me up. Lars Eller too. If you're going to grab the guys on the third line, Eller and Burakovsky are the ones you're going to want to grab. And I guess they've moved Beagle back down to the fourth line. All right. So he was on the first line according to the lines last night. So not as confident in grabbing Beagle tonight. How about the Bees? The Bees over the last 10 games. Marchand out of control, right? So are they going to come in? Are they going to do anything against Holtby on the road at Washington? Bergeron and Marchand, Pasternak, Chara, better game. Look at that. Throws up a couple 5, but he'll probably have like a 2-point game tonight. Maybe some block shots. So it's these 3 you want to watch out for. Torrey Krug, if you're going to grab some defensemen. I like Vetrano. Vetrano will do this. And Krejci. So those are the 3 you're going to be looking at. Let's add subtotals on this. Grand totals on 4 rows only. Let's see what their total average points are. Look at Marchand, 6.4. Even I guess if you're not going to grab Holtby on a roster, you do really want to grab Marchand, Bergeron, past Pasternak. Anybody on the 3rd and 4th line we need to care about? Colin Miller, maybe? Yeah. Spona. No, it's going to be top 2 lines that you're going to want to grab. Who's on power play 1? Yeah, that's why you might want to grab Spooner, because he is on the power play. But yeah, you can see those are the guys you're going to want. So let's back out and look at the Avs versus the Kings. Let's check out the Kings first, because this is where you're going to want to grab some guys. Anze. Yep, big night last night. He was one of the people in my big lineup last night. This is people that would have scored, top scoring guys from last night's games. You would have wanted to grab him. Let's get them out of there, though, because we're going to be redoing this for tonight. So Kopitar Gaborik also really doesn't put much less than a 3-point game up every night, except for one. Let's grab up to there. That's a little better. Kopitar, Muzzin, Doughty looking great. 3.4. Jeff Carter, yeah. I see only 3.5 last night, but he's going to throw up like that 5 or 6 point game. He's due for a couple goals. And against the Avs, he didn't do it enough last night against Arizona, but you want to grab him. Pearson, Martinez, Clifford, Forbert, Andronov, Jordan Nolan is your 4th line cheap guy, right? 2,800. Yeah, that's not a bad pick. Against the Avs, you're going to see some of these 3rd and 4th line guys play a little bit more, so this is not a bad idea to pick up Nolan. Their power play, Kopitar, Muzzin, Doughty, and Pearson. Yeah, that's why I want to grab Carter and Pearson, Kopitar, maybe Muzzin, maybe Doughty. Yeah, they're all possibilities. If we're going to. And look at that, Dustin Brown, 2.9. I think you want to grab, let's see, where's Gaborik? Gaborik's on the 1st line, yeah. Interesting. Let's see what Colorado's got to give. So this game in LA, let's go back out to 20. McKinnon's been averaging 4. He is a solid guy to grab if you're not going to play Budai and net. Bogemon, what do they do power play 1 here? Tyson Barrie, and Ratinen. Yeah, McKinnon, Ratinen, Landeskog put up the goose egg last night in Duchesne. These guys can be dangerous. I would expect. Well, let's back out and take a look again here. Landeskog, yeah, that's an abnormality right there. I think you can still grab him tonight. And Duchesne, Neto's pretty cheap, right? 2,900. Yeah, look at that cheap 2nd line action. He's not on the power play at all? Not on the power play, no. Zadorov, 3.5. 2nd line, Colorado guys, Martinson, Ginla. Yep, I think if you're going to grab anybody on Colorado, you want to get your sneaky picks here on the 2nd line with Duchesne, Neto, maybe Zadorov, and Landeskog. Bogemon, but not much here. Look at your average total. That's kind of what you want to go by. But McKinnon is always a good pick. The 3rd game tonight, Minnesota and Calgary. Let's start with Calgary. They did not play last night. Monahan is very strong, right? Monahan, Dougie Hamilton. Now, Minnesota does not give up a ton of goals. So even though this game is in Calgary, although Calgary can just blow up and throw like 6 goals in the first period. I've seen them do that before. So you probably want to pick a roster that has some Calgary guys. And yeah, that's you want Monahan, you want Hamilton. Johnny G, 6.5 last game. Gaudreau's a good pick. Backlund, Frolik, Kachuk slowed down a little bit after those 4-point games. Chris Versteeg could throw up another 5-pointer. Ferland's on the 4th line now. Let's see what they have power play wise. Yeah, because Versteeg's on power play 1. So at home, if they're going to get some power plays, these are the guys you want. Monahan, Gaudreau, Versteeg. Maybe you think about Brody, Dougie Hamilton, and Backlund. Probably the two you grab if you go if you're looking at power play 2-line guys. Let's try Minnesota. Minnesota is such a hot hand they've had. Nino, yes. Suter, yes. Spurgeon, he always seems to let me down whenever I do. He has these random 6 and 7 point games. 3.5. I don't know. Stahl. Okay, well, yeah. Granlund, Zucker. These are nice guys to grab. Look at that. Granlund, Zucker, and Koivu could provide. Palmerville also strong. Maybe even break it up a little bit and not have everybody on the same line. So they got Parisi on there. They have so many weapons, this team. And Graovac, I guess that was unexpected. He was super cheap and had a big night last night. Stewart and Graovac did. I don't know if they're going to be running a lot of fourth-line guys against Calgary. Maybe they will. The power play line, one action. Suter, Coyle has really not put up too many goals lately. So that's why you got Parisi on the first line. So that's why you can grab, let's take a look at, see, Niederreiter and Granlund and Pominville. That's the three you want to grab if you're going to take that mix. Granlund, Pominville, Niederreiter, perhaps Koivu. And to do first line, take Suter, Parisi on the power play. Spurgeon, Ryan, yeah, Suter, Niederreiter. You want to have at least two of these guys mixed together because I do think they're going to put some goals up on Calgary based on what we've seen in Calgary giving us nets. But so that is what we have. Let's take a look at every player just for a second here. Let's move all the players up to the top and salary right there. So back out the last 20 games. Your centers, yep. I mean, it's up against Minnesota, but Monahan is the strongest player of all of them. And all these guys on the road, Bergeron on the road, Kuznetsov's been, when he gets hot like this, look at this. The last, what's that, 6 games, he's had 4 of those games over 5 points, and the other was a 3 and then a 0.5. I think he's a great pick tonight. Also, Kopitar, very strong lately. Against Colorado seems like a good bet. And Carter, yes. Then you have Backlund, Koivu. Lars Eller is interesting there. He's probably pretty cheap, 3,300. Yeah, there's a value pick with Lars Eller throwing these 5-point games, 8.5 here. That's a nice pick for the Caps. I don't, Backstrom is usually pretty solid, but he's going to be much more expensive at 6,700 there. Stahl, I'll do Shane Holla. Look at Tom Wilson up there. Tom Wilson's a 4th. Yeah, 9-point game. Trevor Lewis, Spooner. Those are your centers. Your defensemen. Let's see here. Muzzin. Yeah, Muzzin is who you want on LA. Muzzin and Doughty. If you're going to go with Boston, you go with Krug. I do like Suter. Dougie Hamilton. And Orlov is another defenseman for the Caps with Carlson, still kind of coming back from that injury. Benjamin, Tyson, Barry. Yeah, I think you want Orlov, Doughty, Suter, and no, actually Niskanen is up there at 3.6, isn't he? Because he's up on the power play, right? Yeah, he's on power play 1, second line. So keep an eye out for those guys, and then. Yeah, it really seems like, look at how heavy we are with Minnesota here on the wingers. Pominville, Zucker, Niederreiter, Granlund, OV, and Oshie, Burakovsky, Williams, if you're going to be doing Caps. All these guys above 4 points on average. Is there anybody in here? Yeah, Marchand's just been so strong. So depending on your goaltender picks, that's probably going to determine who you're going to bring in and who you're not going to bring in out of these guys. But you want to have 3 of these 8 guys if you can grab them in your roster. And maybe you have. I think you need to enter about 3 rosters in tonight with 3 games, mixing things around. loading up on Minnesota in one, loading up on the Caps in another one, and loading up on LA and the other one, and switching it around with some random guys not against your goaltender. So that's what I think you need to do tonight. You can email me, ken@kenstalk.com, for a copy of this file. I'm setting up a Patreon campaign so I can do this every day and distribute this file to everyone. They're getting nice comments and likes on the video, so thank you very much. And may your players be scoring.